Welcome to Unmuted Podcast with our amazing host and author, Recia Kabbah. In a noisy world, we cut through the chatter, amplifying important voices. Are you ready for raw, unscripted stories that shape our daily lives? Well, on Unmuted, we tackle tough topics, challenge the norms, and share untold stories. Each episode, we bring in thought leaders, influencers, and everyday heroes for genuine conversations. It's not just a podcast. It's a platform for real, raw, expressive conversations. Get ready for the emotions, laughters, and most of all, the truth. Unmuted is more than just a show. It's a movement. So join us as we break the silence to embrace the power of honest dialogue. Welcome to Unmuted, where conversations are real.
Welcome to season 3 of Unmuted Podcast. I am your host, Recia Kabbah. On today's episode, we have two incredible women who are making waves in their respective fields. First, we have Lynnette Clement, an actress, educator, author, and co-host of Real Recognized Real Talk Radio. She's the author of 4 books, including Cheaters Never Win, and Coping with Grief. Her work focuses on relationships, personal growth, and healing. Then we also have Franchella Simmons, a multi-talented entrepreneur, stage play director, author, and community leader, who is also the co-host of Real Recognized Real Talk Radio. She's known for her company, Jet Plane Boys Entertainment, her empowering work with Diamond Divas Group. Together, we will explore their journeys, their powerful messages, and how they are impacting lives in profound ways. Welcome the dynamic duo, Lynnette Clement and Franchella Simmons. How are you, Franchella?
Hi! Hey, we want to do that chant. When you bring up Lynnette, we're going to do our chant.
There you go, Lynnette, guys. Welcome the beautiful Lynnette.
Yes. Hey, let's go, Lynnette.
Thank you for having us on your podcast.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But before we go into the discussion, y'all, we gotta say this for all our Bird Nation fans right out there now.
That's right.
Come on,
you ready? Let's go. E-A-G-L-E-S. Eagles! Yes, y'all.
That is funny. Eagles.
W. All right, now we got that out the way.
Yes, they are representing.
We are. Love it.
Go Eagle, go Eagle, go Eagle.
Yes, love it, love it. We bleed green. We bleed green.
Absolutely.
I'm telling you. We taking it all the way. I'm ready for that parade.
Yeah.
I'm speaking it into existence.
Yes.
Yes, of course. So, ladies, you know, individual bios was very, 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 very achieving. Like, you guys have done a lot. So I try my best to just cut it short. So I hope I did you justice.
Yeah, thank you. You did.
Yeah. I hope I did you justice, because I'm like, when I look at the list, I'm like, whew. Okay. Which is a good thing. Because y'all both achieve a lot. You know, y'all doing a lot of stuff. So I just want to again say thank you for being here on my platform.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
So you guys, myself met a couple years ago when I did an event doing some work for you, Lynnette,
Yes.
through my agency. So I'm so grateful we stay connected. And look where we are today. You know, you never know.
Exactly. I'm
You
I'm
never
proud of
know.
you as well. And you've done a lot of things also with your apparel line and your book and now your podcast. So
Yes.
thank
Yeah,
you for having us. I'm
thank you.
watching.
Thank you for being here. These are the dynamic duo guys, the ladies of Real Recognize Real Talk Radio Show. So, okay, I love them. I love them. So, we are going to get into it. So, ladies, are you ready to get unmuted?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right, then let's get unmuted, y'all. All right, my first question for you would be, Lynnette, can you share a bit about your upbringing and how it shaped your journey as an actress, educator, and entrepreneur?
I sure can. So I was born and raised in North Philadelphia, raised by my mother and my grandmother, who actually taught me the importance of family and the importance of helping other people. So all of the Clement family, if you're watching, shout out to the Clement family. Um, it is so important that we not only know that we're not just put here for ourselves, for our own journeys, for our own purpose, but we're also here to help everyone else. We're help to help people, and so being raised in a family that was so close, we're still close and connected, and we have like the most caring of hearts, and I think that foundation kind of cultivated me into the person that I am today. And it motivated me to want to then each one teach one. So I practice that in my authorship, even on the stage, when I'm around the other actors and actresses. I'm also, someone referred to me as the mother hen, because I'm always like, is everything okay? Maybe we should do it like this, or I'm always that person that people find a connection with, and they find comfort in coming to me in many different ways. And when I write, it's the same way on the radio show also. I'm a very extremely passionate giver.
Yes.
So, and I was raised to be that way. It runs throughout my whole family. Shout out to my family.
Okay, awesome. Yes, it's very important. That's what people don't understand. The way we get raised, it do follow you.
Yeah.
However we get raised, so it just come natural. And so, being nurturing, loving, giving, if that's what you learn, that's what you know. So that's all you're gonna be able to give, right, to the
Exactly.
world. So,
Exactly.
so that's great.
It has its plus and its minus, I'll say, because some people take advantage of my niceness, or some people view it as a weakness or a vulnerability and try to exploit it. But so you have to have a spirit of discernment to be able to say, okay, this is where I gift, this is where I gift, and this is where I allow God to gift.
Right, right, right. Okay, Tony said, Franchella, I love you.
Yes, hubby.
Yes.
Hi, Tony.
Okay, hi, Tony.
Hey, brother.
All right, Franchella, this is for you. You have also had such a diverse career. What inspired you to take on so many different roles, and how has your background shaped the work you do today?
So growing up, I grew up in church, and having God lead me to my path. And as I got, older and a teenager, you want to do certain things, but it's not in the plan. So I had my children at a young age. And once they were grown and out of the house, I was able to pursue those journeys that I wanted to do in life that I couldn't do. When you have children early, you kind of got to put things on a back burner because your life change, and you have to fend for them and not put yourself first. So then I got a chance to do some of the things like acting and the play and managing artists and the radio show. Everything kind of came to me, actually. It first started out, my husband's cousin, he can sing, he can rap, but he wanted somebody to manage him. And like I said, growing up in church, I was always taught to do things decently and in order. And because of that, it gave me that structure and that foundation of doing things right, and not, and I know things don't always go the way you plan it to go, but I always had my plan A and then B, just in case things didn't go the way that I wanted to go. But I always had that professionalism, and I'm really good at organizing things, putting things together, and seeing things through. So that was a gift that I always had. So when my husband's cousin asked me to manage him, I was like, sure. So I started manage him. That's when I, came up with my the name Jet Payne Boys Entertainment. Had a few artists under me at the time, where you would book them shows, and I did like open mics for artists, whether it's comedy, R&B, hip hop. So I did that for a while, and it was called Real Recognized Real Hip Hop Open Mic. And someone came to me and said, "Hey, you want to do a radio show?" And I'm like, okay, so I wound up going into doing a radio show. I'm like thinking, what should I name it? And so I'm like, I might as well just keep the name and call it Real Recognized Real Talk Radio. And so that's been, successful. And I've been doing all of this. Really, it came to me in like 2011. So it's just been a great ride, being able to be the assistant in some TV shows that are now on Amazon Prime, and the journey is wonderful. And I tell people that if they really want to do something, go for it. Don't let anybody stand you in a way. I just feel as though that if I really put put everything into any of this entertainment world, that it would be so successful, because first of all, I keep God first. That's number one. And number two is that I don't take no for an answer. You can't take no for an answer. You got to keep knocking down those doors. You got to keep, if they say no the first time, knock again. They say no again, just keep knocking, because you have to be persistent, but you don't have to be, ignorant or nasty about it, but you have to be persistent. And I think with the persistence, people get to know your name, and and things that you do, they get to see your worth. So just having that family foundation of doing things decently in order and putting God first and being fearless, I think that it has really worked in my favor in becoming who I am today.
Okay. That is great. I love that. You are so, when I read your bio, I saw you are doing a lot, a lot. You have been doing a lot and still doing a lot. So for your community and all of that. So it's very inspiring. And like you said, why not? If you feel like doing it, your heart tells you to do it. There should be no limit. I had a girlfriend, asked me one time, she said, Recia, do you think I'm doing too much? Like, no, girl, you're not. You haven't gotten started yet, Yeah. I said, if your heart tells you to do it, keep doing it, because you just don't know which one you're gonna fall in love with, which one gonna take you to the next, And exactly. So when you feel it, you should just go for it.
That's right. That's right.
You never
and I love actually seeing other people win. And that's what me and Lynnette do on our show. By having so many different guests on our show. Right. We just want to see people win and get them out there, because, at the end of the day, unfortunately, even when I had a lot of my my showcases and my open mics, I tell them, like, everybody's not going to make it, unfortunately.
Right.
But at the same time, I wanted to give them that platform. So at some of my open mics, I would give them trophies. It was a little mic with Jet Plane Boys Entertainment on it. I would do competitions. Like, I told them, it's all about their presentation, their lyrics, their beat. So they were so excited to keep coming back because they knew it helped them get better. So it was more for me to see other people win. And I always tell them, I said, just don't forget me when you do get to that top. Don't forget me, but, and I show them tough love. I mean, they always, tell my husband all the time, like, your wife, she's tough. But you have to be. And I said, if you can deal with me, then you can deal with the industry, because they're even tougher. So you got to have tough skin, especially in the entertainment world. You have to have tough skin, and you have to keep knocking down those doors. Don't take no for an answer. If you know that you have that talent, just keep knocking on their doors. Because I'm telling you, you'll start your name will get out there, because they'll keep hearing and you never know the opportunity. And keep talking to people and networking. That's why we're on this show, right? From networking, with you and Lynnette, so it's it takes it just takes a village. It takes us all together. I said a lot. I know a lot of good filmmakers in the Philadelphia area. I just wish that they would collaborate and do something, because they all been doing films themselves, and it's some are nice, some not that great, but they have potential. But I think all those good minds working together, like, come together, do this fabulous big film where you'll get probably real recognition. You know what I mean? So I just hope they do that one day, because I've been saying that for a minute, and I don't know. It's just I like to see people win. I'm in the background. I do play the front sometimes, but I just like to see people win.
Great. Lynnette, you wanted to say something?
I was going to say, when you're out there, exposing yourself to the world and trying to make a name for yourself in the music industry, or whatever part of entertainment industry that you're trying to pursue, you never know what one door might open for you. So you were saying that your friend, she does multiple things. She's doing a lot of things, and she was saying, do you think I'm doing too much? Well, sometimes if you're doing one thing, it may open the door for something else. You know what I mean? So it's like, you never know where to position yourself, but you got to ask God to guide your footsteps, because where you think you might be putting your most energy, it might be something that is in a totally different direction of where you should go. So you got to actually listen when you're guided and say, okay, let me do this. Because there was times when I was going on auditions when I was acting, and I was like, well, you know what, maybe I shouldn't do that, or maybe I should do this one. But me going on the certain audition linked me to Franchella, and then it linked me to the radio show, the podcast. So you never know which door that you open is going to lead to different opportunities. So open as many doors as you can, and don't be afraid to walk through them, because you never know what's on the other side. And even if you don't, even if I'll say you fail, you never really fail. You learn lessons along the way.
Exactly.
So you have to use that as a guide to what to do next, to what to do better next time. You know what I mean? So
exactly. You said it best. That's why I told her that you said it best. So, and again, if you don't try, you will always think about what if. And that's the part I don't like. I don't like the what if. So like you just said, even if you fail, because we would not win everything we put our hands in. Okay. Everything is not going to be the winner. But like you said, you don't know which one is going to be your calling, right? So pray about it and just allow God to lead you. But it's not like, I'm doing this already, I can't do that already. No, because you just don't know which one going to take you places. And I'd rather try something and fail at it than not to try at all. that's why, when I think about it, I pray about it, I just do it. Like even before I started this podcast, when I released my book, before the book was a whole other story. I had to fast and pray. I'm like, geez, do I want to tell the whole world my business? I'm so private. But I felt that weight on me, like I needed to tell my story.
Absolutely.
Everything that happened, from childhood up to that moment, I was like, damn, God, you really want me to tell my story, because these things are not making sense to me. Why are they happening like this? What did I do? So
but you're helping. Your story always helps somebody else,
right?
So
but it also heals you. It heals you and it heals someone else.
It helps you get it out of you also. So,
and when I look back now, I know for sure that those things did not happen for no reason. God was preparing me to be the voice of the voiceless, to be the voice of so many people, using my story to help people, because I found peace in telling my story. I find joy in it. I have no shame about those things that I experienced, because there are many of us that experienced those things before now and will still do. And so, but everyone is not chosen to have that platform to be able to tell it. So God prepared me for that. And so if I had sat on my gift and not be obedient, I would just find myself being unhappy, because there's a calling on my life that I refuse to pursue, So I took the leap of faith and I did that. And then, look at me, after even the book, I still felt like I needed to create a platform. And I kept telling my girl, just saying, who was my publicist, and I said, I don't feel like I'm done. Like something feel incomplete. I feel like I need to say more. I feel like I need this podcast. And she was like, then go for it. And so look where we are, season 3 already, and so many people has been able to get unmuted. And only God knows where this is gonna go. But like we said, when you think about it, if it's on your heart, you have to just pray about it. And
absolutely. And if it's meant, it's a constant tug. Like it's not like, okay, you think about it and then it goes away. If it's something that's God led or your spirit, it'll keep tugging on your spirit until you actually do it.
Yes, until you actually do it. That's where something. That's like I said, I just felt unsteady until I started, and now it's like I find peace. This is where I'm supposed to be. This is what I'm supposed to do. So tired or no tired, I'm here because it's not about me anymore. It's about the people.
Exactly.
Yes.
I write a magazine called the Love Exquisite magazine, and sometimes I don't feel like doing it. It's only a once a month publication that's online and it's for free. And sometimes I'm like, is anybody reading it? Does anybody care? Is anybody, I'm not making any money from it. But I heard so clear one day when I was going to give up that God said, it's not about you. It's not about you. It's not, and I just picked my pen and paper back up and I just kept on writing, because I was like, you know what? You're absolutely right. Because even if you touch one person, you're changing life, you're impacting somebody's life, you're empowering somebody's life. And through your stories and through your experiences, you can help somebody along the way who might be struggling with it in private. Whatever it is that you're talking about on your podcast, whatever it is that we talk about on our podcast, and whatever it is that I write in the magazine as well. So life is all about, I think, helping each other travel through this journey called life in a much better way. And you almost look back and say, I wish I had this.
Yeah,
I wish I had this when I was growing up too. But you could probably wasn't paying attention to it. It might have still been there, but you just wasn't paying attention to it.
Yes.
But I'm so proud of you for taking a step forward towards your destiny.
Thank you. Thank you, ladies. Thank you. Great show of you. Beautiful. Thank you, Tony. Tony is in here. Tony is in here.
Tony's Franchella's husband. He's always so supportive. Thank
you. Thank you. That's great to see, partners supporting each other. It is great. All right, let's move on. Lynnette,
Yes,
So you
ma'am.
have written 4 powerful books. And one of them, I was cheesy when I read it. Stuff. I was cheesy. I was laughing. I was in my living room by myself and dying.
I already know which one you're talking about.
Uh-huh. Of course. Yes.
You know what I'm talking about.
Of course.
So, all right, let me don't get off track here. All right. What inspired you to start writing, and what key messages do you hope readers take away?
So what inspired me to start writing? So my first book is Cheaters Never Win: How to Stop Cheating in Any Relationship or Never Start.
Right. That's the one I'm talking about.
I know. This one is the bestseller, of course. So what inspired me many years ago, I probably was in my 20s. I don't want to say many, because then I'm telling my age, y'all. But a few years ago.
It's okay, just a number. You look great.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I was in a relationship. It was my first real true love, and he broke my heart. And it at the time I thought he cheated, but in looking back, he really didn't. But at any rate, when I was too young to understand it, I was like, I need to write. I need to get it out. I was so hurt. I was so angry. I was so frustrated. And so I just started writing. And this was in the 90s. This was way in the 90s. And I'm so glad that I put my pencil down and I didn't put it out then, because it would have been trash. It would have been trash because of how I was writing from a place of pain. And when you do that, you're not impartial. You're only one-sided. You know what I mean? So you're only telling half of the story, and you're really not helping anybody. So I was like, back then it was like, once a cheater, always a cheater. You're never going to change. Get rid of them, and blah, blah. But so I put the book down, and as life happened, years later, as I lived more and as I experienced more relationships, I said, you know what? I'm going to go back to that book now that my mindset has changed. And now that I have more experience to even talk about, and now that it could be helpful to other people. So I started writing again, and I'm glad I did, because now I from a healed place. Before I was writing from a hurt place.
Right.
I was writing from a healed place. And so the words came across to both audiences, men and women, the cheater and the cheated, so it's very helpful for those who have been cheated on and those who have cheated. So what the book is about, the core of that book is getting to the core of your why. Because the why of your behaviors, because for every behavior there's a reason for it. A lot of people say, oh no, it's not, they just that way. There's something that is a trigger. There's something that causes that behavior. So until you get to the core of that why, you'll continue to repeat that same cycle. So until you get to the core and you do the work to be better and to make better decisions and fighting temptation and whatever it is that you have a difficult time wrestling with or coping with, then you will always create that same pattern. So it's about helping people uncover their why. If you peel back the layers of the potatoes, and sometimes you got to go all the way back to your childhood to understand people's behavior. Because you're like, oh, well, this person, this class clown, oh, he never got enough attention at home. This or is some insecurity that they're trying to be deflective. So you always have to just observe, look, and listen and reflect over your own life when you're making decisions to kind of say, okay, what character did my life create? What type of character in me did my life create, and why? And if am I satisfied with that character? And if not, what do I need to do to be better?
Well, one thing, Lynnette, one thing I can say about that is, if you are getting into a relationship just for the sex part of it, it's not going to work.
Absolutely.
Because what, that only, first of all, lasts 10 minutes or 15 minutes, whatever you want to call it.
And then it's not about sex.
What about the other 23 hours and 90 seconds in the day, right? So if you can't be with that person or have fun with that person or laugh with that person or just cuddle with that person, and you want to watch a movie and you can't wait to get home, and can't wait to get home because you want to have sex, but just can't wait to get home just to be around them, it's not going to work. So that's one of the reasons why a lot of relationships fail, because it's built, that's what it's all built on. And then the second reason why a lot of relationships fail is because like in the beginning of any relationship, even if you have a relationship outside of just the sex part of it, that is a good part of it, because you feel those butterflies when they touch you. You get excited, right? And then it's sad, but it's true for everybody. I'm nobody can tell me that they still get the same feeling that they got 10 years ago from their mate. It's totally different. We evolve into different people, but you have to keep it. You have to keep it spicy. Right. So I always tell you to, like the everyday life of, like, if you in a relationship, then if you have kids, the stress of kids and taking care of them, you get exhausted, taking care of the home, cooking, working, like all that, then you're frustrated, and then you're arguing with each other. So like you have to get out of that everyday environment if you have a support system, and get out of that everyday environment. And even if it's like a local Atlantic City, hotel, I'm not saying spend all this money to go. It'd be nice that you can take a really nice away vacation, but just to get out of your everyday environment so that you can enjoy each other. Because when you're home, it's about everything else but each other. So
but each other,
that's good advice. That's good advice.
From someone who's been married for 25 years, of course.
31 years.
Been together 31 years. Yes.
And that's good advice. It's good advice, especially when people have children. Sometimes the dynamics change. So it's not just that people cheat because of the lack of sex, or they, it's not just sex. Sometimes it's attention. Sometimes it's time. Sometimes it's that stroke, that ego stroke that some people what I call in the book is internal and external validation. So sometimes it's things that people are missing, but then also sometimes it doesn't even have to do with the other person. Sometimes again, it's because I didn't get enough attention at home. So now I'm going to go out here in the world and, vie for attention, and whoever gives me attention, then I'm going to gravitate to them. So if we live in a world where social media likes and clicks and all of that, with people, that's attention for some people who may have never gotten it in their lives. So now we have these influencers, what I mean? So it is a whole lot of different reasons why we gravitate to what we gravitate to, and usually it starts with childhood. So but like I said, if you get to the core of your why, then you get to an understanding of what you need to work on to become better, to make better decisions. So that's what this book is about.
And you know what? And you talk about the why. So I've been married now for 31 years, but this is my second marriage. My first one was 5 years. And what I also tell people is I didn't harp on what he did wrong or what happened in my past relationship, because that's not going to help anything in the new one. I had to focus on me, what that maybe I hear him say constantly about me that I might need to change in another relationship, because that same person is going to complain about the same thing. So don't, like a lot of times we're guilty of it. He did this, and make yourself look better on a But no, don't carry that baggage or package into the next relationship about yourself, because we all need growth. We all got something going on. We all have, issues. I can't sit there and blame him for everything. I'm sure I did some things that, brought to the table the reason why it didn't work as well.
Exactly.
So I had to focus on myself. And I think in that aspect, I became a better me. And that's the reason why this one lasts a lot longer. Now I still have some work to do. Some of the things I ain't correct all the way, but
he
well, Tony is in here. Tony said he still got chills, baby. So nothing else matter right now.
That's right. That's
right.
That's right.
After 23 years, he still get chills with you. So kudos.
Oh, he said he still gets chills and his baby smile after 33 years. That's a blessing. It truly is a blessing. And one of the reasons I think y'all longevity is because y'all like friends. And I always say that to any relationship, you want to build the foundation of friendship first, because friendships last so much longer than relationships most of the time. So you want to get to know your person, and then anyway.
No, it's true. You guys,
I'm single, so it ain't like I know from experience, but I do know that even with my exes, we were friends and we developed a friendship. So that's why now we don't hate each other. We are still friends to this day. You know what I mean? Like, I want the best for them and they want the best for me. So
I mean, you have the knowledge. You can be single, but it doesn't mean you don't know one or two things. You've been through life. You had your experience. So I used to tell my girlfriend, sometimes people can be married, but it doesn't mean they have all the knowledge of relationship. And you could get some good advice from people that are single because they've been through life. All right. And they had experiences. So this is good. Actually, I had questions that we had covered already in this question. So I'm like, okay, I'm not going to ask that question because we're talking about it already. Because when it comes to relationship, it's so much we can talk about, so much different. And at the end of the day, like, I'm divorced now for a year, a little bit over a year. So it's still a little bit, for me, it's fresh. Guys, he probably married somewhere already. Who knows? Who cares? But for me, I'm taking my time working on me because, like she said earlier, you have to look at yourself after a relationship and see what you have done. Where did you go wrong? If you need to work on some things so you can be better for the next, right? And so in this time now of my life, I'm more focused on me and working on myself and finding who Recia is, knowing who Recia is, so that when I go on to another relationship, I can be the best version of myself, and that's all we have to do, learn and grow, and so I'm happy we are having this conversation because I'm so not ready right now. I guess sometimes I get emotional because it's like I have lost so much trust when it comes to relationship. And because I'm a relationship type of girl, I'm not someone who just like did here and did here and did here. Like when I'm in it, I'm in it. But it has to be solid. It has to make sense for me. And so for me, my girlfriend asked me the last time on my last episode for season 2 if I was ready to get out and start dating. And my fear is that I don't want to start something that won't go anywhere, right? I don't want to just jump into a relationship just to be in a relationship, right? It has to, a lot of people do that. You don't want to be single. You don't want to be alone. Maybe you feel lonely. No. I love being by myself. I love me. I love myself time. So I don't have a problem with that. But also, I would love to have a partner, but I want to have the right partner. I want someone who is not about sex. I want someone who is just not about my beauty. I want someone who is not just about, those little things on the surface, because I can change any second, right?
Right. That's right.
Someone who's going to be my friend, someone who I can trust, someone who I can feel safe with, and vice versa, you have to like people outside of loving them, because love feels. Love feels. But if you like a person and that person is your best friend, I don't care what happened. I think you can cross a lot of things, because that's your best friend, you know. And so I'm hoping to find my best friend someday.
That's right.
And you will, but I'm glad that you are of the mindset that you know you're not ready, because
Yeah.
oftentimes people, when in their trauma, they let their trauma, or that they let their pain lead them into doing things that they are really not ready for, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, or physically, and then they find themselves in a worse position mentally.
Exactly.
So I'm glad. I implore people that after you experience any type of loss, that you do the self-reflection and say, how did I contribute to that, or what could I what? And sometimes again, it's not even that you've done something wrong. So I don't want to put that out there like, oh, what can I have done better? Because sometimes it's not you, it's the other person, but sometimes it is you, or
Yeah.
something that you contribute to the situation, like a situation you may have could have handled it in a better way. So that's what I'm saying. So I don't want nobody to beat themselves up about what worked and what didn't work. Now is saying, okay, well, how can I take this as a learning experience on what to do better moving forward? But when I'm ready, that, because the worst thing you can do is jump out there before you're ready, because you could end up doing one or two things: hurting yourself or hurting the other person, because you pull that baggage with you and you start dumping all your trash onto the person who did absolutely nothing
Nothing to
to
you.
deserve that trash. So I implore people to heal first. Heal first. Go through the process. That is a loss is like I'll call it the stages of grief, because any type of loss, you go through the stages of grief. So allow yourself to go through whatever it is that you need to go through, so you can come out on the other side of that thing better. And
Yeah.
and then, like when you said love fails, I want to um piggyback off of that and say, not all the time.
Mhm.
Not all the time. You may feel like love fell this time,
Mhm.
but that doesn't mean that it's always going to be that way.
Right.
There, just like we talked about, we going after our goals and dreams in terms of business. It's the same thing with relationships. You go
Right.
if what you want is your life partner, if you want is your best friend, don't stop. You're alive, you're a living being, you're beautiful, and you are, a man's dream, some
Mhm.
Yep.
man's dream. So
Stay encouraged.
so be encouraged that just because you had this one experience, don't make this into a lifetime. This was a moment in time.
Moment.
This was a
Right.
period of time. This was
Mhm.
not a lifetime.
Right.
Everything is a learning, right?
Everything.
Everything is. I would never say that anything in life, rather it's relationships, rather it's job, rather it's buying a new home and it's something didn't work, the roof caved in.
Mhm.
Everything is not a mistake. It's
Mhm.
it's a learning curve, right?
Learning first.
Absolutely.
So only time I say that is it would be a mistake if you know these learning curves and you continuously jump
Right.
into another relationship knowing you saw that red flag, or you just complained about him doing the first relationship doing that, and you still letting it happen. So
Right.
that's an issue with you. Don't blame that you keep finding the wrong people. No, you keep picking the wrong
You
people.
keep picking the wrong people.
Absolutely. And
So
that's because it depends on what you're looking for. I'm
right.
guilty. I'm not even gonna lie. I'm guilty, because there was a time when I just had the pretty boy, the fine boy, and some of them ain't worth a damn.
Yeah.
but they had my heart,
Yeah.
but not that all pretty men ain't worth a damn. I don't want to put that out there either. But a lot of the people that I've came across, I'll say,
Mhm.
So I'm like, okay. And then not only that, thank you, God, thank you, Holy Spirit, because like Franchella said, you got to check yourself sometimes. Sometimes I did have men that were worth a damn, but I wasn't ready for them. So
we always let the good ones go. Why
and
is
why
that?
say, and that's a real thing.
It is a real thing.
That's why I said readiness is so important, because when you have something that you're not ready for, you may fumble it, and then sometimes it don't come back around, so make sure that you are ready for what it is that you want. Make sure that you're ready for what it is that you're asking God for. Ask him, not only ask him for those things, but ask him to prepare you so that when you receive them, you're ready. The both of you, it's
and expectations, I mean, of course you want honesty and loyalty and all that, but when it comes to the physical, you might not get everything. You might not get that 6 foot tall guy, maybe he is handsome, but he's 5'7", instead of, maybe so you're seeing eye to eye, your heels, you might be a little taller, but he's treating you like a queen. So why you have to lower your expectations when it comes to what you're looking for and just the overall being of a person, not the characteristic. Now that's very important. You don't want somebody treating you like trash and but at the end of the day, and y'all can put this on a podcast because it's unmuted, guys are just dumb.
I agree 100%.
Unmuted, girl.
Yes, they are. It's because
they agree with
if you want to, like, they don't know how to cheat. Like, I'm not saying do it, but if you want to do it, know how to do it. You know what I'm saying? Know how to do it.
Don't.
It's just saying that we're in a world where we think we have to have it all. Like we think we have to have everything that we want. And in a realistic world, nobody has everything that they want, even the richest of the richest man and woman. So as we live in a false, fake, made up world in our mind that we have to have it all, and which is one of the reasons why I think people step out, because they want this, they want that, they want this, they want that, and it's like you don't have to you're going to be okay if you don't have it all. You're going to be fine. Just be satisfied and content with what you have and cultivate there so that that could be better. You know what I mean? But at any rate,
you're not going to change. You're not going to change. Right. You're not going to change each other in certain things, but just compromise.
Compromise. Yes. Exactly. Took that out of my mouth. Compromise. Y'all said it best. So it's anyone like us who are single right now. This is a great conversation. Okay. You can learn.
I hate to be a shameless plug, but I have another book called Coping with Grief. Your happiness is in your healing. Mm-hmm. And so if anybody out there that's dealing with some type of loss, it's not just a death, because the loss of a job, the loss of a husband, the loss of a friend, the loss of a family member, any type, and not just by death. It could be like a separation, So all of that is in this book. So I implore you to get a copy. Coping with Grief, your happiness is in your healing. So go through the stages of grief, process it, come out on the better side. When you're healed, then go back out there and just live. As long as you have breath, live. That's the best advice that I could give to anybody.
Peace. The peace of mind, let me tell you, is that's healing in itself. I had friendships that I had to let go, and it was hurtful. But the peace of mind,
I think that's where I'm at today. Like I'm not taking anything that's not bringing me peace. Listen, like I said earlier, I don't mind being in my house, in this big house by myself with my children. I don't need no disturbing. No one's taking my peace away. I work so hard. I'm working so hard to live a happy, comfortable life. And so that's including partners. So if I feel like this person is not going to make that for me, I'm not doing it. Like, I'm not settling. I know what I have. I know what I can bring to the table. I know the woman I am. I know the work I'm doing on myself. And so being single right now for me is a blessing, really. It's a blessing because I'm finding so much for myself. When I say that, I mean like I'm really discovering a lot, just being able to focus on me. So sometimes I laugh at myself. I'll be like, damn, dude, whoever gonna find me, you're gonna find a great wife.
I say the same thing.
Right?
You gotta be blessed with a great wife. So I hope God is working on you to be my great husband, because man, you're gonna have a great package,
Right. And see, knowing that's the blessing part, you know what I mean? Because some women will feel down on themselves, or what's wrong with me, and not love themselves enough to know that it's nothing wrong with me, is in due time. You have to ask God to send you the right person. You have to be specific on what you want in your prayer. And he will. He's not going to send it when you want him to send it right away, the next day. He's going to send it when he feels as though that you're really ready with this relationship, because a relationship is a commitment. You know what I mean? And it's not about you anymore. So being single, even for you, Lynnette, you know what I mean? Being single, having your own home, being able to go out the door when you feel like it, come in when you feel like it, go here, do that, do this. All that will change, because now, not that you have to answer somebody like they're your father, but now you have to incorporate.
You have to consider. Right.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And so, and for some women, especially seeing that can be hard. That can be difficult, especially if for so long you're not used to it. You know what I mean? So
I say that all the time, because I've been single for quite a while. Not that I haven't dated, because I am dating, but I haven't been in a committed relationship where it was just me and one person. And I say the longer that you wait until you find your person, the harder it's going to be to incorporate them in your life, because you're going to get so used to having the toilet paper here and this here, and so soon as somebody come in and they shoes in the middle of the floor, you're like, wait a minute now, when you was raised in the barn. But it's like, it's all about getting to know. You're gonna have to get to know them, and it's like the person gonna say, "Well, where you going?" And I'm be like, like last time I looked, I was grown. But you can I could say that now because I'm single. But when you're in a relationship, you have to be considerate of one another. So as longer you are single on your own and independent, it is hard. I'm not even gonna lie. It is hard. Like I met somebody, I'm gonna give true transparency. And we were going shopping, and he was like, I'm gonna buy everything, and I'm gonna, when we go to the supermarket, I'm gonna take you shopping and all this. And I'm so used to, I'm at the supermarket, I got all the bags myself, and he wanted all the bags, and I'm like, no. And so I'm pulling the bags from him, and he like, why are you? And I said, because that's selfish. Like, I think I'm being selfish because I'm letting you carry all the bags. Like, I'm an able-bodied adult. You know what I mean? Right. Like, I could see if my arm was something was wrong with me. And then I would be like, okay, yeah, whatever. I said, but I refuse to let you carry the bag. So we went back and forth for so long until he broke it down. And he was like, I snapped out of it when he said, Lynnette, you got to let a man be a man. And I was like, I snapped out of it because I'm thinking, I am letting you be the man. I'll let you buy it.
Right. that part. Because we still going through it. If Tony's still on, he can chime in. He still fusses at me for grabbing the bags.
I'm like, I feel like that's inconsiderate and selfish of me to see you got 15 bags and I don't have any. Like, that's crazy to me. Right. But for him, this is what he wanted to do. And I guess it made him feel like I'm a man. I'm the man.
But here's the thing, Lynnette, right? Go ahead. Here's the thing. So you wonder if it's all like that in the beginning. So I'm just going to use opening the door, right? So in the beginning of the relationship, they open door. Let me be a man. But when you get into a relationship, all of a sudden you getting in the car door yourself. and they already on the other side. Like, what changed? Just because now we're together in a relationship, so you're not going to do all these things, but it happens. It happens where they want to, let me be a man. I do this, I do that. And this is, my role. And then before you know it, wait a minute, why your role all of a sudden changed?
Thankfully, I've never had that.
Doing no more. You're not grabbing the bags no more, but so let them do it. Why?
Well, now I know, and I caught myself because I was out with somebody else, and I caught myself because I was getting ready to say something, and I was like, "Be quiet." That's what I had to learn. Be quiet. You don't always have to comment on everything. You don't pick and choose your battles. That's what I'm learning. Pick and choose your battles. So that's what I've learned in my singleness about what I need to do better.
Yeah, let the man take the bag, Lynnette. Let the man take the bag.
Because I'm such a caring person, I feel bad. Like, but now I know. All right, if he say you all right, I'll say, are you all right? If he say yeah, I'm be like,
have the bag. That's what he needs. Let him take it. Take it all.
Yeah, you're right. Exactly.
But this relationship thing is not easy. It's not easy, especially in 2025 in the 20th century with so many different influencers and influences, positive and negative. It's not easy. But don't give up hope. Never give up hope, because your person is out there, and that's for Recia, that's for me, and that's for every single person out there, male and female. Don't give up hope. Just work on yourself so that when you do meet your person, you can be better, and y'all can be better together.
Yeah. And when you really know yourself and you work on yourself and you know what you can bring to a relationship, you don't settle. Nope. You can't settle. I want what I want, and that's that. I'm very, very transparent with, even when I meet people, like what I want. If you're not for me, I'm gonna tell you you're not for me. You're a good guy, but you're just not mine. You have to know that because some men just date. They don't care if it goes somewhere, it goes somewhere most of the times, unless he's really, really in that place where he just want that commitment, our family, but we as females, you don't want to just waste your time out there just dating just any and everybody, and so for me, that's where I'm at. I'm gonna stay where I'm at until he arrives. I'm not bothered, or I think I'm really living my best life right now being single, to tell you the truth. I'm loving everything about it because I'm really finding myself, redefining who I am. So Tony is cracking me up today. He said, I'm carrying all the bags. He is cracking me up.
And Franchella gonna let you. She gonna let you too.
I don't. I'll be grabbing. He be like, he be mad at me. He be like, would you go in the house? So now,
man.
I try to help him, and then I look at him. He be upset. I still do. I can't help it. 33 years, whatever. I'm still going to help as much as I can. But when we get to the car, he'll be like, just get in the car. So he'll put all the bags inside of the truck, and then just go in the house. But I'll sneak and I'll grab 2 or 3 bags and go in the house, and I'll be putting them away. When he'll bring them, inside, and I'll start putting them away. So we have a method, but I still try to help, and I think it's also a
woman's nature.
Because we're caring creatures.
We
want to help, and we want to. I don't know. Our independence too. You know what I mean? Like, not that
it's fair. I think it's fair if you have 6 bags and I have none. That's not fair.
Right.
That's not.
And like taking out the trash. It's not a woman or a man's duty.
I ain't taking the trash out. When I don't have to take the trash out, Franchella, I ain't taking the trash out. I will gather the trash in the house, throughout the house, to the bathroom and the kitchen and all that, put it all together and say, here you go, babe, take that outside.
Well, I mean, if I had to roll it down, because it's even, he got mad at me because he had to work his job during snowstorms. He had to work, sometimes even overnight at the job, and it's snowing at our house. So I'm out there with the shovel and I'm shoveling. Like, why wait for him to come home? He's exhausted. He's tired. He's been doing everything at this job, and then he comes home and he got to do that too. Like,
now y'all ain't there yet, but that's good.
What you say?
What he said now?
I said I ain't there yet either. I don't want to shovel either. Now, don't get me wrong, because sometimes, so my neighbor, I have a wonderful neighbor.
Franchella, this is for you. On the screen.
What did he say? He said,
we got it, all the heavy stuff. What he said?
I gotta put my glasses. Y'all know I can't see.
Baby, I know, right?
Oh, it's for you. Oh, L baby, he talking about the trash too. He said we got it all. The heavy stuff.
That's
it's
right.
for us.
I let y'all have the trash.
You're not supposed to do it.
Listen, the grass, the snow, the trash, and a couple of these bills. I'll let y'all have them.
Yeah. I mean, men, they are interesting. A real man will give you a hard time because they want to do it all. They want to do all those things, and I don't have a problem with it. You want to
get out there with you. I'll get out there with you in terms of like the shovel and stuff like that. But if you say don't worry about it, I'll be like, okay, thank you, Jesus.
Yeah, like shoveling snow or taking out trash, those things. Usually, men would not want you to do them. So
no, he don't want me to do it, but I mean,
and that's
I want him to come home and relax.
I have seen females that actually do those things, and the men sitting down on the couch. Okay.
Now hell no. Now that part ain't gonna happen.
I have
that
seen
part is not gonna happen. But
they got men
if I can pull my weight, I turned 60 this year. Like, if I can still move and God is still blessing me to move and do things, I think that's what really. Not saying that pulling the trash or shoveling keeps me young, but I'm saying like that kind of stuff like keeps you moving. Mobile. Yeah, mobile and keep you moving. Like, I don't do it a lot. I probably can count on one hand like how many times I did it in my lifetime. But I'm just saying I'm not against it. I'm not against picking up the shovel. I'm not against rolling the trash down the driveway and putting it on the curb. Like, I'm not against that because. I mean, if we get my son out there talking about then pull it up tomorrow.
You're right, Tony.
That's right, Tim. Call her out on it.
Tony on their show because Tony is giving
that's a deadbeat dude for a sucker sitting on the couch while the woman.
Yeah, I seen that happen. I'm like, what? Like, she's cooking, she's working, she's taking the trash out, and you just sitting there.
Yeah, now that's not cool. That's not cool.
One time I did get out there and shovel before my neighbor, because my neighbor usually helps me sometimes. And one time I got out there before him, so I did both of ours. So I will do it, but I don't want to. That's what I'm saying. I don't want to. I don't want to shovel. I don't want to cut the grass. I don't want to take the trash out. So yeah.
Okay. All right. Something? It is very interesting that I had 8 questions, and we don't go all the way to 7 because we don't talk about all those things into this one question, which is so interesting because relationship has taken over my whole hour. Okay.
There's a lot to talk about concerning relationship. There's a lot.
Yeah, so I'm just going down, looking as you guys talk. I'm looking like, okay, we covered that already. All right, we did that. So
we're continuing the conversation on the Real Recognized Real Talk radio show. We're on every second Tuesday of the month.
Yeah, that's where we're going now.
And we're gonna talk about polygamy.
So as a radio, okay, my next question would be, as a radio talk show co-host, what types of conversations do you to spark, and how do they align with your book, Lynnette?
Well, all of my books have to do with making better life decisions. So no matter which one you read, whether it's Coping with Grief, Cheaters Never Win, Art and Grandeur, I have that too. Art and Grandeur, it's about making better life decisions and how our decisions impact our life and could change the trajectory of our lives depending on what decisions we make. My newest book, Empowering Wisdom, it's also about making better life decisions. It's a lot of my life story that I talk about in there, and I just compiled it in articles that I usually write in a magazine into that one book. And we connect that to this radio show by some of the topics that we talk about: relationships,
Right.
polygamy, financial, different things about financial, what am I trying to say? Business and financial literacy. That's what I'm talking. Life skills. That's something Franchella is passionate about, teaching people life skills and the importance of that. So we tie in, and then current trends that we hear about, that the Diddy story, that whole debacle and everything with the presidency, different things that we hear about. We bring it on to the show, and we give people an open platform to discuss it, just like yourself. So
Okay, thank you. Franchella, you have received several awards for your work. What do those honors mean to you, and what continue to motivate you in your career?
I love it because I think that you hear people, and to me it's BS. You hear people saying, recognition don't mean anything. It does. When people recognize your good work and they give you your flowers while you're here, don't recognize me when I'm 6 feet under and I don't hear you. I don't, know how you feel or anything like that. I received the Hall of Fame at my high school. And that was such an honor to be up there with Will Smith, Lady B, Walt Chamberlain. Is just an honor. Wally Jones, to be in that same platform in the Hall of Fame at Overbrook High School, and just to be recognized for things that I have done. It's heartfelt. It really empowers you to do more, to give more. And I just can't thank those enough. I mean, Rick Watson, he also gave me an award, which was presented to me by Tommy from Off of Martin. And it's just really, really a good feeling. Now, no, do I say, oh, I'm going to go out here and I'm going to do X, Y, Z so I can get recognized? No, I'm not doing it for that. But I appreciate the recognition.
Right.
I appreciate people, seeing my worth and awarding me for that. I really do. I think it's a blessing.
Yeah. Of course, you don't do things because you're looking for awards, but it feels good to know that somebody's, appreciating you, right?
Exactly. And that's why they have these award ceremonies, the Oscars, the Emmys. They have all these awards. I mean, people look forward to getting these awards. Of course, everybody
can't win, but just the fact you've been nominated, let somebody see me.
Right. Exactly. And that's why I gave my awards for Under Jet Plane Boys Entertainment, because I wanted them to know that I see your growth. I see your performance. You did great. And the excitement of these young men and women to receive that and to keep working because they know that they could get that, was awesome. Because, I mean, I just think everybody should some sort of get a recognition, and rather it doesn't have to be an award, it doesn't have to be a trophy, just a thank you or a shout out or something. Like I'm going to say right now, I have the best co-host of the Real Recognized Road Show ever, Lynnette. This girl, right? She is the truth. I'm telling you, I love her. I thank her so much for always making sure that people know about the Real Recognized Real Talk radio show, she doesn't have to do none of that, but she does it, and she loves it. And I love her for it, because she does most of the work. She does most of the work. I'm going to just say that she does a lot. She gets the guests, she put things together, putting out ads for hiring, interns. Like she always steps up, and she does, things that helps me when it comes to preparing and doing the show. And so I just want to thank her. Now, I've said it before, but as many times as I can say it, I'm going to say it. I don't take credit for anything that she does or anything that she brings to the table. I give credit where credit's due.
Thank
You guys are a great team. That's great. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's great. It's good for your
And
friends.
shout out to Stacy and TL too.
Oh yeah, shout out to Stacy and T. They joined new to the team, so they ain't gonna get no shout outs yet. I'm sorry, they not getting shout outs yet. Okay, you earned the shout outs. They gotta wait a minute. They just joined. They only been on the show for like 3 months. Okay,
All right.
Shout out to them as well.
All right, one more for you, Lynnette. Your motto is always lead with love.
Yes.
How does that guide your work and personal life?
I think that no matter what you go through, no matter how people are to you, you never let them change who you are authentically. And so that's why my motto is always lead with love, because we want to be loved, and so we should know how to give it as well, as much as we want it for ourselves. So I think that a lot of times, I'm going to go back to how we lead sometimes with our trauma, how we lead sometimes with our pain, how we let pain lead you. And read that in the article that I wrote on my YouTube channel, Love Exquisite LLC. I have an article out there called Don't Let Your Pain Lead You. So let love lead you. Let love lead you. And I don't mean the love for a specific person. I mean love, period. Like the love of God. Like always lead with love. Always lead with your authentic self. And everybody's authentic self is not love. I do understand that, but it should be. We live in a world where that is one key thing that is missing. Love. It's missing. And I think if we learn how to find that again, especially within ourselves, then we'll learn how to lead with it. No matter how people treat you, you can't control them, but you can control you and how you deal with it. And if it's the people that are around you are not treating you with love, then you have a right to separate yourself from those people without treating them poorly too. So
because people can suck your energy out of you, People can suck your energy out of you.
Absolutely.
Some people just don't know love. They just don't know how to pour out love. Because maybe from their childhood, maybe from their current situation, maybe they've been hurt so much, and all they can give back is hurt, because hurt people hurt people.
Absolutely.
And so sometimes what I noticed about myself is that I wasn't always this way. I'm not claiming to be perfect, nothing like that. But, over the years, at least for my little bit over 40 years I have lived, I have learned, peace is more rewarding, being happy. It don't take anything away from you being happy. Hate and anger, all those things just take so much out of you. It just drains you. I don't have the time to hate. I don't have the time to be mad, to be angry. So if I try to be nice to people and they still giving me that energy, I just remove myself.
That's the best thing you can do. You pray for them.
Love people from far. You can love people from far. You don't have to hit on them. You don't have to pray for them. You don't have to wish them bad. You can love people. You can pray for them. What I try to do now is pray for people that hit on me for no reason. Like, why? What's the anger? What you need help? Like, I pray to God to work on you, because
Exactly.
your problem don't has nothing to do with me. You have to handle that. But yeah, you don't have to keep people in your space if they are making you uncomfortable.
Yeah.
That's
You know,
right. That's
please.
important. And like you said, I wasn't always this way. I didn't always have this mindset. I was a little tyrant growing up. So I didn't have this it's this mental maturity. You know what
Yes.
I mean? So I didn't always do things right. I'm not perfect, and God is still perfecting me. I'm not perfect now, but I have a very different mindset than when I was younger. So I call it mental maturity. So once you reach a maturation level in your mind, you realize that, like you said, Recia, hate is it takes too much of your energy. It takes too much of your happiness away from you. And why would you allow that over peace? Why would you want that over peace and love? So
yeah, just love, man. Love. Just pour out love. I mean, just love somebody. Allow someone
and
to love
yourself first.
Yes. Oh, yes.
Yourself first, because if you don't love yourself, you will not know how to properly love somebody else.
Nobody else. And when we go back to what I said earlier, that's what that was about. Me working on me, looking at myself in the mirror and say, Recia, now, who are you? What do you want? How do you want your life to be? What is happy for you?
Exactly.
Because I want to be happy. I want to be like, what is that for you? Who are you going to allow in your space to bring more light to that? Because you can be all good until you bring somebody that is not all good, and then they mess up your whole energy, because energy don't lie. Like, they just mess it up for you. So now all the work you don't do on yourself for the last 2 years, everything just going to go in the drain, because you have attached yourself to someone who is not completely healed or not even working on themselves.
And that's why it's important to know when to walk away, because oftentimes we stay too long to where now their energy becomes ours. So as soon as you feel that shift, pray for them from a distance.
From a distance.
I mean?
And I love you from over there.
Yeah, exactly. I love you from afar, and I want the best for you. But right now, what we got going on is not working for me.
Not at all.
I always say to people, throw around this word loyalty. And you're loyal. Oh, you're not loyal. You're not loyal. And the only thing I realized in 2024, 2025, that I'm loyal to is my happiness.
Amen. Amen.
My happiness.
Amen.
That's it.
Because people will meet you where you are. The right people will meet you right where you are. So I'm not afraid of losing any friends, any family member, nobody.
Nope.
I'm not afraid, because if you can't grow with me, then you're not supposed to be.
To go with me. That's right.
Absolutely. That part.
That's it. And so that takes me to my next question. After that, then we have a closing question, because let me tell you, you guys.
And of course, my battery is running low.
Y'all went to everything. Yes. So just one little more question has to do with your book. Lynnette. Okay.
I gotta step away real quick.
All right. We can wait for you. Let me see here. Okay, let me ask you this, Franchella, since she's out. You and your husband have been married for 25 years. What's the secret to a strong marriage? And how did your Facebook live show, Just Like That, come about?
So the success of our marriage is communication. Not to go to bed angry. Also, not to talk about a situation while we're angry, because you don't hear each other. You're one-sided. You don't hear. Calm down for a minute. Next day, talk. Maybe not even next day, but it has to be discussed. If you have any issues, you have to be discussed within that week. And don't go back to bed married. Even if you say, love you, with an attitude, you still said it. You still did it. So communication, keeping that line of communication open, being able to travel. We're like travel gurus. So we
Okay.
travel constantly. And I think, and we do a lot of adventurous stuff. Even if we're not traveling, we're doing fun things, jumping out of airplanes, doing, going
Ooh.
to a paint and splash, or an escape room, or like anything that's fun, that's interactive, doing all those things keeps it exciting, and keeps us on our toes and having fun, looking forward to, I do a lot of the planning, from start to finish, rather it's the booking the flights, to the resorts, to the excursions, to everything. And all he has to do is pack and go. And he loves like a lot of things that I put together. We have been really blessed to be able to see the world. We traveled to Egypt and Iceland and Finland and Alaska and so many, Rome and Italy and Venice and Spain. Like, we've been so many places, and that's why I say it's so important to travel and to get out of your everyday stressful, gotta pay the bills,
Yes,
environment, and just do some fun. You work hard, play harder. You know what I mean? And it doesn't. People think that it costs a lot, and at times it can get expensive. But we plan in advance. Like, so I have all of 2025 planned out. Lord willing, I have it all planned out of our trips. Well, like we're going. Soon we'll be in New York, and then we're going to Texas, and we're going to a cruise in April, and we're going to Bali in September. It's all booked. The flights are done. So I do stuff in advance, so it's not as stressful financially when it's time to go. Yeah, if you think to the last minute, because I've asked friends to go certain places. Oh, that's too far in advance. I don't know what I'm going to be doing. That's what you're going to be doing if you book it.
Plan.
That's what you're going to be doing, and then it's always, when it comes up, oh my God, you get ready to go already? I swear, I feel like you just told me, because time just moves.
Whether you move or not, time is moving.
I like that.
Just having fun, I think, is a big part, and and keeping God first is number one. Having him first and foremost in our life, and keeping him the head of our household. I mean, you can't go wrong. That is definitely a must.
And you guys seems to be great. It's a true story, baby. True story. Yes, I love that. The part that got me, he said jumping out of planes. I'm like,
I know Franchella is that her and Tony, they thrill seekers. I'll be like,
but get me on the plane, it's hard.
You think I'm boring? I'll be like, oh, I must be boring, because I'll be like,
so we started relations. We started a Facebook Live called Just Like That, talking about, relationships and traveling and all the things that we were just talking about. And we had different other couples and people that come on and talk about, their relationships, and just an open conversation. I think is so interesting, and people are very interested in knowing about relationships, and some things that you may say may trigger what's going on in their relationship, and it can help. I've actually helped so many relationships. People stay together, friends of my husband will, can your wife talk to my girl? I don't even know him, and I don't even know her, but I'm talking to her, and it's like
it's great.
It's a gift that and I don't claim to be no expert, so not at all, but because God gives me the right things to say, and as a friend,
the right partner, you have the right experience, you have the right partner. So
and from the outside looking in, sometimes you see things differently. So you come with a impartial
experience. Can be a lot. Experience is a lot. When you have experienced a lot, and I mean, for 25, 30 some more years together, I mean, you can give a great relationship fast.
And her
her
mother and father been together for a long time too. So she has that as an example. You know,
like yes, they've been
together
for
2
years.
You can actually, use your experience.
Now they don't. They're old school. You know, my dad worked 3 jobs and put my mom through because they eloped when they were young, and had her graduate from high school, go to college, bachelor's, master's, like put her through college, and they're not. My dad don't fly, so they don't do a whole bunch of traveling. But that's that old school love. You know what I mean? Like somewhere between them. And I think it's better with us, but now it's crazy. People are getting married because they just want the fantasy of this huge marriage.
And that's why I don't work
the
out.
Dress and the whole that goes along with it, for the wrong reasons. It doesn't even last long, But
girl, listen, you talking to me.
Well, my mom is a praying mom, and that's where I get my foundation of God from. And I think I'm telling you, when both have God in their life, it's unstoppable. But at least one person have to be a praying person to pray.
Yeah, you have to be. You have to keep that in your relationship. Yeah. So thank you.
I say, and it could just be me because I've been single and never married. But I say, when people say, "What's the secret?" when people been married for a long time, I always be like, "Well, what's the secret? What's the secret?" Just so I could get feedback. But I figured out what the secret is. Right. I'm gonna tell y'all what the secret is.
What is it?
They just don't leave. There's no secret. They just don't leave. It's not that it's perfect. It's not that they don't go through ups and downs and trials and tribulations. The key to a long relationship, he don't leave and you don't leave.
We stuck together. That's
the key right there. Yeah. I haven't figured out how to stay through.
You haven't figured out how to stay.
I have not figured out how to stay through this.
But sometimes in that you could want to stay and the other person doesn't want to, right?
Well, well, that's true. It happens. But I've nobody ever left me. I've always been the one to leave.
So now So
now I'm trying to figure out how to stay.
So now, okay, at least you know this. So
you got that song. Put that song up. Stay. I'm gonna send you that. Who's that song by?
Stay. When you read my book,
you read my
book, it will tell you I did not want to be divorced, but I got divorced because it takes 2 to want a marriage. It takes 2 to want a relationship. You can't force someone. So being married for 30 years, 31 years, 25 years, it takes 2. That means the man wants it as much as she wants it, because you can't force people to be with you,
Right, sure. They don't want me to leave, but I can't help myself.
So you got to work on that. That's why you have Franchella. What's that?
Look. No, let me clear the air because it's not that I get into relationships to leave, but so I get into the relationship because I want it to work out. But then when things go awry, I don't know how to wrestle through that tension and still be there because it now impacts my happiness, and that's what I'm loyal to. So I gotta learn how to navigate through the tension. Or just accept that everything is not going to be perfect all the time and everything's not going to go my way all the time. I got to figure out how to then still find my happiness in that. And I haven't. Yes. So.
All right, Franchella, you got some work to do.
I know. I see.
So now you know my problem. All the air.
You got some work to do, girl. That's your girl. All right. Well, this one, okay, we can go through this real quick.
Ooh, it's 10:30, y'all.
I know, right?
It's my
Yes, they tell you.
bedtime.
So we're gonna be just few minutes over. We're almost done because I said up to 10:30, so we're almost done. So Lynnette,
Yes.
going back to cheaters,
Yes.
cheaters never win. So your book dives into relationships. What do you believe are the main causes of cheating, and how can trust be rebuilt after an infidelity?
Okay. Good, great question. So I believe that people cheat for different reasons. I don't think it's one size fit all approach to cheating on both men or women's side. I think that it all also has to do with that internal external validation that I talked about. So oftentimes it's something that it's something that they are dealing with personally, and then sometimes it's something that they're not getting, that they miss or that they want or long for, so from their mate. So sometimes it's the other person and sometimes it's not. So each individual person cheats for individual reasons. So I can't put a whole one size fit all approach and say, oh, men cheat for sex, so women cheat for money. I can't say that because sometimes people cheat for different reasons. So I can't put a pinpoint on one of those reasons. But in the book, I talk about the different dynamics and different things that can cause someone to go outside of the relationship. So, and I'll just mention some of them. It could be money, it could be sex, it could be time, it could be that validation that oh, you know, maybe their wife is always arguing with them, or their husband is always arguing with them, and then they find peace somewhere else. You know what I mean? So it's for different reasons. Again, it's no one size fit all approach to why a person cheat. That's why I say it's important to uncover your why. So whatever is causing your behavior, peel back the layers of the onion or the potato and figure out why do you need that validation? What are you getting from that experience that makes you feel that this is something that you enjoy doing, or something that you feel like you have to do? So you got to get to the core of your why to be able to answer that question honestly.
Right.
Because people cheat for different reasons.
For different reasons, yeah.
Exactly. And then it always has to do with the individual person that's cheating. And I say that because you can take two different people who experience the same thing and still don't have a cheating behavior. So it depends on each person. That's why it's important to get to the core of your why. Now, in regards to your question on building trust or rebuilding trust, that is something that is hard to do, but not impossible. You can do it, but the other person, if you're the person who calls someone to distrust you, you got a lot of work to do, because now it's your responsibility to do what is necessary to rebuild that trust, to now bring back that reassurance that the person who once trusted you no longer trusts you. You have to take time. That it might take a long time, but it depends on how willing the other person is to actually rebuild that trust. Do you really want to rebuild the trust, or do you want to keep holding it against them what they did? Are they trying to make amends and they're being met up against opposition? Yeah. So it takes both parties to do the work if they really want to rebuild the trust. So I say, if you're going to stay with the person that you no longer trust, it's also your responsibility to then do the work to help them in the process of regaining and rebuilding trust. So you can't say, oh, I forgive you, and then every minute you throwing it back up to in their face, because then you haven't really forgiven them. And it's not that forgiveness means forget, and it's not that forgiveness always means reconciliation either. But if you decide to stay together, you have to work towards rebuilding that trust. So you got to say, well, what caused me to distrust you? Work on that. I don't trust you now because you did XYZ. You proved yourself to be untrustworthy because XYZ, whatever that is. And then say, this is what I need from you to rebuild that trust. So now this person has to say to you, how do I need to regain your trust? What do you need from me to regain your trust? And then y'all have this open and honest communication, and you both work towards that. But
Yeah.
as long as you keep throwing up whatever they did or said or didn't do, you'll never rebuild that.
Yeah, you might as well just
Let
quit
it
it.
But that's so hard, Lynnette. That's
It's
so hard.
hard. It is. And
It is, but here's the thing. To me, it's stupid for you not to, and you still stay with the person.
yes. If you're not going to forgive them, don't
That's
stay
true.
with
Then
them.
let it go, because now you're messing with your mental health, your health, and
Absolutely.
everything. Now you angry, and you know
Right.
it's just dumb. So
Right.
And I think that's why a lot of men will leave a relationship after they have, cheated or hurt their partner so bad because now you know me as this person, this bad person, evil person who has hurt you. So it's easier for me to move on to somebody who doesn't know this person that
or
Be-
they don't want to do the work that's
or they don't want to do the
necessary. They don't
work.
want to do the work that's necessary,
Mhm.
or maybe doing the work is too much for them, and they have somebody else who don't require nothing.
None of that. That's what I'm saying. So they move on to that person that don't know their bad boy behavior, whatever you call it.
But after a while, they'll find out.
Then they will find out. So why not just stay somewhere and just work it out? So this is for you, Lynnette. This is from Tony. He said, "Jealousy, baby, want you, just stay." LOL.
That's the song.
Tony, I really do try, but sometimes I think because I know what I bring to the table, and I'm like a really decent person, period. But in a relationship, like I rock out with mine. Like I'll do anything for you, and like, so if I feel like I can't be my nice and genuine self, I feel like you don't deserve me, I can't stay there.
I
I
can't
don't
say
want to
that.
be mean. I don't want to treat you bad. I don't want to do all of that. Like I want to be like, this is my king. This is who I want to treat you, and the way that I know how to treat a man. And if I feel like, well, I can't do that because you ain't do this, or because if I feel like we ain't rocking out together, then I'm good by myself. So
Yeah.
I do try to stay.
But Lynnette, you're not going to always get
my way.
You're not going to always get what you put out, unfortunately, right?
I know. I see that.
Because everybody is different.
Me.
They don't know how to show. Like Tony's more affectionate than I am. You know what I mean?
Right.
He's more huggy, kissy, hand holding than I am. And he accepts that, because I feel like I inherited that from my dad. It's like when COVID came, I was glad nobody can hug anymore. Not my husband, but like I'm talking about people. I was like,
wow.
I was like, pretend like it's still COVID, y'all. Get off of me. So it's just who I am. You know what I mean? So he accepted that I'm just not that affectionate as he is, but and I might
play off each other's strengths and
and that's relationship,
Exactly.
Everyone's not the same. You gotta meet halfway. That's what
we do. We definitely meet halfway.
I guess this is one of your friends.
That's one of my Diamond Diva Elite sisters. Hey, hey, Ritzy. Her Diamond Diva Elite name is Ritzy. But Janelle, aka Gigi, thanks for tuning in.
Yes, thank you for tuning in, girl. All right, we are a little bit over.
So you gotta
do our close up. So, Franchella, what advice will you give to? We can make this very short because we're over time. What advice will you give to women trying to balance work, family, and personal growth while staying true to themselves? And what's next for you?
Well, the advice that I would give is prayer, keeping God first will help you balance anything that you have going on in your life. Mm-hmm. Work wise, kids, if you have children, taking care of the home, taking care of the mate, just prayer, just affirmations of positivity that you can say before you start your day. Oh, did I just rhyme? That you can say before you start your day. that will help you get through the day, and help you manage everyday lives, rather be ups or downs. Next for me, I mean, I'm continuously traveling. I'm dedicated to my Real Recognized Real Talk radio show. But after COVID, I kind of stayed back from the entertainment world. But I think I want to get back into it, producing plays, and I think my another comedy show, it may be on the horizon, and just get back into that world, because I see so many of our fellow entertainers doing some really great things. So just getting out there and supporting them, supporting Lynnette more in her endeavors with her her nonprofit organization. She's doing some absolute wonderful things with that, with the youth. And just get out there. I've just been more focused on home, my husband, life, my children, my grandchildren, and just traveling, just trying to live my best life, because we only get one. And so you just gotta live and enjoy it. I had said to my husband the other day, I said, you know what? I can truly say, if God says, today or tomorrow is my time, I lived life and enjoyed it and loved life. And I want that for everybody. That's why I always encourage people to do what makes them happy.
Absolutely.
Wow, I love that. When you can really say that to yourself, then yes,
prioritize.
A lot of us are not ready to say that,
Right.
And the days going by, the years going by, and then you still like, I have not had. If you die today, you're gonna be a happy dead body. I mean, unhappy dead person. So I like that. Wow.
Yeah.
I like that. I'm gonna try to follow that. I'm gonna try to live my best life so I can
live your best life.
You only get one. You only get one.
Ooh, I'm glad you said that, girl. I'm gonna be a whole different person now. If I ain't take anything away today, I took that.
Good. I'm glad to help.
Thank you. So Lynnette, for you, what's next for you, and where can people connect with you and find your books?
So you can find my books on lulu.com, also on amazon.com as well. If you look for Lynnette Clement author, you may just find the books, but Ardent Grandeur is my fiction novel. Cheaters Never Win, How to Stop Cheating in Any Relationship Will Never Start is my self-help. Coping with Grief, Your Happiness is in Your Healing is a book that I co-author that is also out there as well. And my Empowering Wisdom book is also out there, lulu.com. You can follow me on Instagram or Facebook at Love Exquisite, LOVEEXQUISITE, LLC.com. You can also follow me on RRR Talk Radio. Every second Tuesday of the month, we're on at 7, live streaming through our Facebook page. So follow us on Facebook, RRR Talk Radio, on Instagram, and our YouTube channel as well. Now, what's next for me is I am taking a pause because I just need a break, a mental break. So I don't have anything in the works until maybe around June, when I start picking up some activities for the youth during the summer for the nonprofit organization, Love Exquisite Arts and Recreation Nonprofit Center. So I'm taking a pause because I do believe that you can run yourself ragged when you're doing too many things. And I just need to take a break, so that's what I'm doing.
It's important to know when to take a break. So that's great.
So you can refresh and be ready for your next thing. So thank you, Recia, for having us on your show. This is amazing work that you're doing. And I'm definitely going to get your Unmuted book as well.
Unmuted, guys. It's also on Amazon. Just Google Unmuted by Recia Kabbah. It is on so many different websites. Some of them websites, I don't even know why they got my book. But
So what happens is
everywhere.
And what happens is, if depending on who you publish through, they actually have, other subcontractors.
Yeah.
So that's
right.
a good thing.
So
it's a good thing.
It is a good thing because if you are Walmart shopper, it is on Walmart.com. It is on Target. It is on Barnes and Noble. It is, listen, this book is so many places I can't even remember. But go to Amazon, of course, it's on Amazon. So through Amazon, it was published everywhere else. So it is a good thing. And if you have a story to tell, feel free to reach out to us on Unmute. Let's unmute your story. And ladies, thank you so much for being here. We had so much fun.
Thank you. Yes, we did.
Yes.
We had so much fun with y'all. And Janelle, she said, okay, let me see. She said, thank you for reminding us to live life to its fullest. Yes.
Yeah, absolutely, Franchella.
Yeah.
And restoration for mental and physical well-being is important. Yes, girl.
Absolutely.
It is.
Yeah. I like to refresh.
Yes. So again, thank you.
Thank you.
You guys
for being here.
Have a great rest of the week, everybody.
Same to you all. Same to you all.
All right.
Lynnette, let that man take the bag, okay?
Now I'm like this.
Yes. Shut it, girl.
I roll out the red carpet for him.
Yes.
I roll out the red carpet for him.
All right. I had so much fun with y'all. I had so much fun with Franchella. Thank you. And thank you to Tony for being a part of the whole show. He was a great sport for the show. So thank you so much. And you guys have a good night.
Have a good one.
All right. See y'all. Bye-bye.
Bye. Okay, guys, thank you so much, you all, for joining the show tonight. It was very interesting. We spent almost 2 hours because we could not just stop talking. But you know what? This is unmuted, so if we have to talk about it, we have to talk about it. All right. If you want to come on the show, email us at info@unmuted.us. info@unmuted.us. Send us your whatever you want to talk about, and we can meet right here and unmute your story and just have fun and help somebody. You never know what your story can do to someone. So check out our website. Unmuted is available on ricaboutique.com. You can screenshot and shop our collections. We have clothing on there for Unmuted. We have all type of accessories. We have women clothing. So ricaboutique.com for all your needs. If you want a signed copy of my book, just go to ricaboutique.com and order you a copy. It will be coming directly from me, so I will be signing it to you. You can also get my book on Amazon, Barnes and Noble, Target, Walmart. Just Google Unmuted by Recia Kabbah. It is everywhere. Books are sold. Again, thank you all for tuning in. Thank you for being a part of the show. Thank you to my girls, Franchella and Lynnette, for joining me tonight. Thank you to everyone who was engaging and commenting. I appreciate you all. Well, now I have come to the end of my season 3, episode 1. Until next time, see ya again. This is Recia Kabbah Unmuted. See ya, guys. Bye.